YouTube, continuing with the golf cart. It's been a real long time. I got the air box and the exhaust off of it. I'm making my own exhaust, and then I have the air filter coming in the mail. Right now I'm making the engine plate. Up there you can see it sitting on there. I just have some angle iron welded straight to the diff, and then I have that angle iron welded up over there. So it's just going to be like a 3-point, and then there's a plate just tack welded on. I was just seeing fitment. So now I'm going to mark the holes and stuff. Start fitting it in, and I got this blast LED torque converter on it. So that's all in there, and it's lined up with that sprocket. I pulled that sprocket off some random quad. So just lining everything up right now, in and out, in and out. To be electric belt drive, so I just took the belt drive assembly and then cut it off enough so the chain would fit on there. Mark my own holes. That's just going back on the diff. Hopefully I got those holes centered enough it doesn't wobble or anything. So I was gonna bolt it directly to this plate right here, but the angle iron I have under here gets in the way of these bolt holes, and I won't be able to make lengthened ones for adjusting. So I just got this 2x2, weld that to there, cut those holes out. There's little slits, not the cleanest, but whatever. You can see it goes forward and backwards. Just gonna bolt up the other side, and then I'll drop it in there, and then I'll tack weld them onto that plate, unbolt them, and then put an official weld on them. So there they are. The angle iron crap I got welded up. Sitting pretty nicely. They seem pretty lined up. Okay, got the motor back out. It's just sitting on its little engine blocks. I didn't tack them in yet. I just still put official welds on this plate to this angle iron, and then also to this angle iron right there. Now I'm just checking the squareness right now. Got this big 90. So it's flush against the sprocket right there, and it's laying flush on the plate, which means they're pretty square. Okay, I still have some side mounts over here. Just welded to the dip down there to the plate right there. Keep this corner from bowing down and whatnot. And I also slapped one over here. Going from the diff up to the bottom. So the plate shouldn't go up or down. Has 4 points now. The motor mounts are all zapped up. Everything here is done. Now I need to do a little bit more to the motor. I gotta pull this torque converter back off, make sure I put Loctite on these bolts, and then somewhere down there on the plate I'm gonna make a chain tensioner. The torque converter is all removed. I'm about to remove this cover right here so I can take out the governor. I got the throttle all hooked up differently. It's just like that. I'm gonna hook the cable back here. It'll be easier to show it when it's in the golf cart, but I need to take the gas tank off and pop the governor out. Back, it's under there. Put all the bolts out. I'm gonna try and freaking yank it off. Here's inside the engine. There's a little governor arm right here. Just moves around. Freaking undid this bolt, loosened it. No prying, came right off. Now I gotta take this little arm out. And I gotta figure out some kind of way to plug that too. Is that little arm sticking up? So I just gotta, I guess, tap this, stick a bolt in it or something. I also took out the oil sensor. I don't want this junk going out one day and it not working because of that. Okay, I got the governor all taken out, a little linkage that went up there. This is a little deal that was wrapped around here. Anyway, just busted that crap off, don't need it, so I got this all RTV'd up. I'm gonna stick the case cover back on. Okay, there's where the linkage went through. I got a 3/8 all thread through there, and then I just zapped a little nut on it with some rubber washers. And then I tried to weld this little deal that was over here, but the metal was too thin and stuff, so I just re-tapped it, stuck that bolt in it with a rubber washer again. Motor's all ready to go back in. Torque converter's back on, everything's re-Loctited, sealant, re-gasketed that freaking thing. Gas tank's back on. So I'm just gonna lift it up and drop it in there now, then I can bolt it down. Motor's in with all the bolts in. They're not tight yet. I still have to tighten the bolts down. But I'm getting the chain cut to length. That way I can put the chain on, then I can see a little better what the chain is doing. That way I can adjust accordingly. So I'm gonna cut the chain up right now. Cut this link off from here, cut all that off, and then that'll be the chain. Alright, I got the new little air filter on, a little adapter right there, and there is a spacer plate in there. That way the choke or the idle valve is still free to breathe. I have to still build the exhaust, and right now I just got the chain tensioner all hooked up. Got a little bolt with some washers, a spring, welded it to the plate. And on the front side, there's the bolt coming through, and then there's just a metal sleeve around it so it spins freely. A little slot so it goes up and down. The chain all tensioned. Alright, I pulled everything out so I can grease it up. That's it right there. Just some washers, a tube, and then goes through, goes to another washer. And then I got the spring, put a little hole in this washer, and the spring just goes on there. But you see the chain tensioner in action. Slapping oil back in her. Got to fire it up. Open header. I didn't build the exhaust yet, but I'm just gonna see what this torque converter is doing. Okay, got some gas in it. The key is on. I'm gonna lengthen these wires to put it up there in the dash later on. Okay, there it is. Alright, I'm just grabbing some parts off this quad. This is where I got the sprocket and chain from. Now I'm grabbing the throttle cable, and there's a front chain because this sucker was full drive. And I just threw the stock exhaust on for now. I'll finish building the other stuff later. I just want to see how this thing rides. I got the throttle cable hooked up right there. I just drilled the old spring holder. There used to be a plate like this just right there. Just drilled it out bigger, and then it bolted right on. Got it cinched into there. I welded this little piece of angle iron right there, and the throttle cable's bolted to that thing. So press the gas. Okay, so it runs and drives, but this thing has crazy axle wrap. So I tighten the crap out of these two. That little arm right there, that one back there, you can see the plate's all bent in. I'm just being squeezed so tight, but it fixed it. I mean, it's way better. I shouldn't say it fixed it, but I think I'm gonna put the same setup on this side. See that sucker wiggle around. And that hardcore noise is that chain tensioner. But other than that, it freaking drives. That chain tensioner is hardcore though. Okay, well, I guess that is it for this one. I'll be back with the LSS10 soon, doing some transmission stuff, and then back again with this. We're gonna add a battery, upgrade the jet, take care of some of this knocking issue, little stuff. So thanks for watching, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.